Woods Farm here, just back out working on the tractor shed. Got a load of gravel. Some of this is going to go onto the driveway to fill some of the potholes, but the rest of it's going to go inside the shed just to give it a nice level base. And then later we're going to put up these, tie all the posts together. And that's the plan for this weekend. First things first, I get rid of all these rocks. It's hard to believe these came out of the 10 post holes. Okay, that's it, all leveled out. A lot easier with the tractor. Okay, that's it with the gravel. Next step, I'm going to get stringers and tie together the beams on the top end and get it ready to start putting up rafters. Okay, so I just cut the tops off with the chainsaw. They're all level. And now I'm going back to each of the posts and the stringer. I'm bolting it on with a leg bolt. Just putting a 1/2 inch leg bolt through the post. Okay, here's my template for the rafters. I'm using plywood up at the top to tie them together. This is the first time I've done it this way. Normally I have like a ridge beam and the rafters tie into that, but this time I'm going to just try to make my own rafters and then we'll put them up. I got these set up for a 16-inch overhang. So I'm going to make a prototype and see how it fits up there, and if that works then I'm going to just cut a whole bunch of rafters and triangles and I'll build them all on the ground, and we'll be like a two-man job. We'll hoist them up and secure them in place. The only thing I haven't mocked in here is the bird's mouth. Will be like a notch. So that's just a template. I'm actually going to add a little bit more to the overhang. And it's not quite square up there. It's a little wonky. It needs to shift over a bit. But you get the idea. Just cutting the trusses. I need 14 more, so I'm going to need 28 of these 2x6s cut. We've got a pattern, so I just transfer the pattern over onto the 2x6 and make the cut. Almost done. Got 7 or 8 more to go. So I've got all the top braces cut. Got all the 2x6s cut. Now I'm just going to assemble. Okay, so I went ahead and built a little jig just to help me line up the 2x6s. So we're going to see if that speeds up the process. Okay, so the jig is helping. Just helps me get it lined up just a little quicker. Okay, all done with the trusses, 17. These are going to be set up 2 feet on center. So for 32 feet, I need 17. Okay, so I took down the template. The truss that was up there was just a template. The overhang was a little too short. And now I have this one up there. And I've got it braced. Those 3 vertical braces will get removed. And I've got a diagonal brace on the one corner. So that's the first gable. I'm going to move to the very end and do the other gable. And that way I'll be able to run a line between the 2 centers, the peak, and that'll help me line up the other trusses as I go along. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set one every 8 feet, brace them, and then I'm going to put in some ties between the 2 trusses at the 8-foot interval. And then when I lift up the trusses in between, I'll have a cross member that I can screw them to when they're spaced out properly. So there's the bird's mouth laid out. It's just a notch, 3 inches. Okay, so that's the second gable. Just gonna run a string in between them now. Okay, so I got two of the trusses at the 8-foot mark, so 8 and 16 feet. And that board right there, that's what's tying them together, giving them the stability. I had to put these little blocks in place. I was having a lot of difficulty holding the truss while getting it all lined up. So I just put these blocks in. I measured so the edge of the block was right at the 8-foot on center mark. So it gave me a reference point and also a place to screw the truss to, just temporarily. So I'm going to take these blocks out. But if you had two people, somebody on each side, you could do it. But by myself, I got to get creative. Okay, so it's the next morning and about halfway. 16-foot mark. Well, that's it for today. I got the trusses up, and I've got about half the strapping on the one side of the roof in place. So tomorrow I gotta finish the strapping, and I'm actually probably gonna start putting in some horizontal pieces to form the walls. I still have to pick up my order of steel in a few days, but next week I should be able to get the steel roof on. So I'll probably do another video that'll show the roof going up, putting up the steel roof, and also building the walls. But thanks for watching. Hopefully this is helpful to somebody that wants to put up this kind of a shed.